So this little web page looks simple, but it represents a big step forward for IntelliconOps. It was not deployed by one large script, and it was not built by manually running 4 unrelated jobs. It is the verified result of a workflow that changed 4 independently versioned blueprints together. The target is an Azure virtual machine on a private address. IntelliconOps reached it through the managed WireGuard automation path, configured Apache, deployed the page, and then proved that the result was correct. Until now, a blueprint was the main reusable unit of automation in IntelliconOps. That is still true, but we can now compose several blueprints into a higher level workflow. The catalogue shows published workflows, their provider, version, ordered steps and recent runs. It also checks the private automation path. If the Azure WireGuard connection is offline, affected targets are hidden. Workflow is stopped before a child job is created. Here the path is online, so this workflow is ready to run. This execution plan contains 4 separate blueprints. First, gather facts. Discovers the operating system and package manager. Next, install Apache. Uses that package manager output and returns the verified service name and state. Deploy Hello World consumes that service state before it writes the governed page. And finally, verify the website checks the result over HTTP. The important part is the contract between the steps. A blueprint does not pass arbitrary console output to the next one. It declares a closed output schema. IntelliconOps validates the returned values, persists them, and maps only declared fields into the next blueprint's validated inputs. Every step is pinned to an immutable blueprint version. The workflow itself is also published with the stable checksum, bounded retries and timeouts. A historical run therefore cannot silently change because someone later edits a blueprint. To start, I select the existing Azure VM. This workflow needs no additional run level values because its step inputs come from controlled defaults and validated outputs produced earlier in the chain. The run is durable rather than being held together in browser memory or an AI conversation. IntelliconOps persists the current step, resolved inputs, outputs, verification state, and every execution attempt. When one blueprint completes, the runner validates its contract and releases the next step. Here, gather facts returned the Linux operating system and apt package manager. Install Apache received the exact value and returned Apache 2 in a running state. Deploy Hello World accepted the verified service state and published the HTML file for the home page. The last blueprint received the expected path and content, then performed the health check. Chaining blueprints does not bypass the controls that already exist in IntelliconOps. The modifying steps can pause for human approval. Each one runs as a normal provisioning job, keeping a record of what was requested, which blueprint was used, what happened, and any retries along the way. If a transient operation fails, the published retry policy controls what can happen next. If an output is missing or is the wrong type, the chain fails closed instead of feeding uncertain data into another automation step. An operator can inspect the child job and return directly to the parent workflow without losing context. The workflow is complete only after every blueprint job succeeds and every declared output contract passes. The final health check received HTTP 200 and confirmed the exact expected content. And here is the result on the private Azure VM. Hello World confirmed, automated by IntelliconOps. The page is the visible outcome, while the workflow run is the complete audit record of how it got there. This is the foundation of workflow automation in IntelliconOps. Small, reusable blueprints, version control changes, clear inputs and outputs, approval where it matters, reliable execution and verification at every stage. We can now move from running individual pieces of automation to assembling them into governed operational outcomes. 4 blueprints went into one verified repeatable workflow. IntelliconOps is continuing to evolve as a multi-cloud operations and automation platform. If you'd like to discuss trialling IntelliconOps, exploring a potential use case, or seeing how it could fit into your own cloud and infrastructure environment, please do get in touch. IntelliconOps, intelligent cloud operations with automation and control built in.